Cancer, happy birthday, welcome back. I am looking at the love blocks here. For some of you, you are single. You're not dealing with anyone right now, and maybe you've been single for a while, and you're asking yourself, is there any kind of love block? We'll get into that for you. And then I also have a placement out here for those of you who you are dealing with someone and you're going through something challenging. I need to tell you, my friend, that these are general readings. These readings will not resonate with everyone. If you know that you are good, you're happy, you're harmonious, and everything's all right, my love cup, this is not for you. Don't even waste your time. This message and a lot of these messages are for people who are trying to get some clarity about what might be getting in the way, if it's something that they're missing in terms of love or not. Okay, so I just want to let you know, my lovely being who's watching this, if you know that your relationship is good and all peaches and herb, don't waste your time right here. I'll get some other readings out later on in the week and maybe something else will resonate with you. This is not going to be for everyone. This is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what does not. All right, welcome back. So the placement out here for those of you where you are dealing with someone, I'll start with that, and then I'll get the cards out here about what is blocking you in terms of love, and for those of you who are dealing with someone, what's blocking this other person. But for the relationship, there's a holding on of values. There's someone here who has boundaries, who has a way that things need to go, maybe some past resentment, and they're not willing to let go of that. Cancer, in this particular connection, for those of you who are connected to someone, especially, I feel like this is you. You're holding on to something, and it feels like you're holding on to something to protect yourself. In the past, and this is just for you, Cancer, it could be related to whoever's in your life if you're dealing with someone, or just in your past. It feels like in the past you have been giving of your trust and love. And so the Four of Pentacles showing up for those of you who are you're dealing with someone, you're not wanting to make the same mistake of giving too much of yourself to someone because you don't want to get hurt, okay? I asked God, angel, spirit guides to clarify that for me, the Four of Pentacles, and I got the Two of Cups, and I also got Judgment out here. So again, it literally just sounds like holding on, doing what you can to protect yourself in love, keeping yourself safe, because when it comes to judgment, you haven't trusted your judgment in the past. So it's been kind of serving as a block in your connection for those of you who are connected to someone. For those of you who are single, when it comes to your love connections, same thing. Something about working through some grief, working through some past hurt, and maybe not being able to fully process and get through that is getting in the way of love coming in and an open heart. That is a theme here across the board. For some of you who you are actually in a relationship right now, you are in a connection right now, the Lovers is out here. What that lets me know as a reader is that there's some divine reason why you all are together, recently separated, or just going through a challenging time right now. Relationships should be in some way to help unfold the spirit, okay, in some way. Now that can look like helping each other level up, helping each other gain awareness. It can look like many different things, but when I see this soul honoring choice card out here, the Lovers, that gives me the sense of feeling that there's something about this connection, if you're in a connection, that has a spiritual vibe to it, that it's serving a deeper and higher purpose than just what you can see in the tangible, in the 3D. But there's something about patience that's needed. In this connection, there's patience needed and a surrender and trust. So with that Four of Pentacles being there, the Temperance being here, those cards are similar for me as a reader in love readings, because they signify the need to let go a bit. In relationships and in connections grow and develop a life of their own. If one or two of the people, the two folks in the connection, are holding on too tightly, they're really guarded, they have really interesting control issues, and you do it like that, not like that, just very prickly energy, the relationship has no room to grow, because it's through that surrender and just allowing love to unfold that the two beings in this connection can understand how this love is shaping and how it is able to support a sense of awareness, a deeper understanding so that you can grow. But it does not feel like that has been happening for those of you who was recently dealing with someone or you're in a connection right now. For some of you, it's very clear that you're not together right now, maybe not even on speaking terms. The Eight of Wands here to confirm that Two of Wands, that this change in terms of not speaking, going from we are at least speaking to not speaking at all, it feels like it happened quickly. It possibly was because someone literally moved out, literally moved away, because this is a movement card, right? So something literally stopped the flow of communication between you and this person, for those of you who are not speaking right now. But when I'm looking at this Eight of Wands, it feels like there's a lot of communication that could be shared. It's just not because of the circumstances right now. Then I have the King of Swords out here and the Magician out here. This is air sign energy, and it's related to clarity. There is this theme between you and this other person, for those of you who are in a connection right now, because I know I'm speaking to some people where you're just wanting to know for yourself in the future. But for those of you who are in a connection right now, it has been likely that the person that you were dealing with was not exactly clear about what they wanted in a connection in the first place. They had a hard time with that. And so I'll come over to that person in a moment to speak more to what's going on with that person. But for those of you that are single and it feels like there's a resonance here so far, I'm going to share with you some of what this block is for you moving forward. And everything that I say, my birthday love cup Cancer, I say it tenderly. Let me just keep it real with you, Cancer. I don't know nothing, okay? I'm blessed and I'm grateful to be able to do readings, but there's still so much that I'm learning about life. So everything that I'm sharing, I'm making sense of it as well in my personal life and just in life in general. I never want to give the impression that I'm some relationship expert, because I'm not, okay? Never. I don't think I want to be. But I just want to say that tenderly to you, Cancer, because if we're working through something that's challenging, we can feel kind of raw, and we definitely don't want someone trying to tell us how to do love, you know, and who are you? So I just want to let you know that I'm mindful of that, and I intend to hold you with care as I describe what love blocks are coming up from this particular reading. I started with some oracle cards, and the first card that popped out was gratitude, and it says, I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Blame popped out second, and it says, I accept responsibility for my well-being. Okay, so I'm just going to stop right there. There are two more out here, but I'm going to stop right there. The gratitude and the blame, off of the rip, Cancer, it feels like there is a need for you to spend some time addressing whatever has hurt in the past, whatever didn't go the way that you intended for it to go, and take the lesson from it and not the pain or the heartache, okay? That's really important, because for someone who's watching this, some of the love block that you're working through is related to having the memory of the past and the pain too. And it's getting in the way. These pentacles in this reading, I'm sensing a fence, an iron fence that's not allowing love to penetrate, distrusting energy. And so when it says, I accept responsibility for my well-being, this feels like an accountability invitation. I made some choices in the past. Maybe I wasn't able to understand my discernment. Maybe I didn't trust my discernment. And I made the choice to be in love. I made the choice to get into a connection, and it didn't serve me. And letting that be something to be grateful about, the lesson. There's someone here who's not quite there. They're not quite at the point where they're like, yo, I made a mistake and I have the power to choose differently next time. Someone is not quite there, but Spirit wants you to consider what that might look like on you. Try it on for size. Worry and relationships were the next two cards that popped out. For worry, it says, I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. And relationships, it says, I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. So the next bit of this, and I have tarot out here for you as well. The next bit of this is related to you knowing what you want. And when the thing that you don't want shows up, it feels like someone here, Cancer, will still maybe have the blocks and the guards about connecting, but they might still invite them into their life. A tentative kind of invite into the life, into your life, into your love. And in the past, if that's been a habit that you've had, it hasn't served. It hasn't served in any way. It's either this person's in my life, I trust them and I open up to love, or this person does not serve my higher purpose and I can see that, so I'm going to completely cut it out. It doesn't feel like that's been a clear boundary and style of navigating your relationships in the past, and that is creating some type of block for you. The Page of Pentacles popped up in reverse, and then I clarified the Page of Pentacles and got the Five of Wands. So this feel that again, that same energy of not clearly making an offer in love, not clearly accepting love, and it kind of being a scattered energy, a displaced kind of, I want love, but it just feels like there's some things that have not been fully addressed. And then when it comes to the I guess I want to say you and your intuition, the Five of Swords is reversed, and then the Queen of Cups is here, which is, for me as a reader, this is you in the tarot. This is in the reverse though, so it's like I have the ability to be intuitive. I have the ability to discern if someone's going to be for me or not, and you do have this really, really strongly, very clearly, you have this ability to discern. It's like, it's a gifting that you have. I think it comes with you spiritually because of your sign. But having that, but still not allowing it to firmly support you making a decision about what you want to experience and how and who you want to experience love with. Okay, then there's the Five of Cups here, then I have the Four of Wands, and then the Ace of Cups. So this, and then beneath the deck is the Clarity, then beneath that is the Eight of Swords. So this feels like working through the grief and disappointment of, at some level in your life, or if you're in a connection, it might be related to this connection, wanting the family, wanting to open your heart to love, and maybe trying it and someone not meeting you properly in that, and now you're kind of back shut down. Now it's shut down. This grief that you're working through has shut down the potential of family, belonging in a connection, the coming together, and it's had an impact on the opening of your heart, the flow of love for you. So right now, I'd say, Cancer, the block, the overarching theme for you is your heart being closed up because of fear, because of lack of self-trust, not feeling confident to trust your intuition. It feels like this, Cancer. You might meet someone and you might see something about them that you don't like, or maybe in your connection, there are things about them that you know don't serve you, they don't serve your higher self, but you have that as a standard and a goal, but you will make accommodations to allow that relationship to happen anyway. And just thinking about the law of attraction, just thinking about the law of spirit, it's never going to work like that. So when it does not work, you become, you have a lot of self-blame. You start, kind of going inward, feeling bad, feeling guilty, feeling distrusting about love in the future. But the real challenge always has been you having a standard for yourself in love, and then trusting it and following it through, not making any exceptions for what it is that you want. That is what I feel has been the block for you. Clarity is needed, truth, trusting that. This is like the sword of dedication related to a belief set, okay? But I want to let you know that you're not blocked in at all. You're not limited in any way. If that's another thing that's coming up for you, Cancer, just in your life, in this connection, or if you're a single person and you're just kind of working through something where you feel like I can't have the love that I want, that's another block. That it's not true. Whatever you can dream of, really, whatever you can dream of, you can have it. Now, there are going to be a set of actions. You're going to have to follow through on your standard and things like that, but you can have it. So there's something also about a mental block that is getting in the way. Okay, so for those of you who you are dealing with someone, For those of you who are actually dealing with someone, the first card that popped out for them is Earth and Ground. This could be someone who is an Earth sign, or a lot of their focus is on the material. They're probably not a super spiritual person. They're like, okay, the math just has to math. Do we have the money for this? Okay, do you have what I want? They're just kind of cut and dry, you know, it just needs to make sense. Logic might be something that they value quite a bit. And then the manifestation card popped up, but it popped out in reverse. So again, there's some mirroring in terms of connection style. This person also has this habit of not fully committing themselves to the manifestation process. If this is what you want, don't stop looking for love until you find it. They have that challenge a little bit as well. Friendship and union is valuable to this person in learning experience. So with this particular person, this feels like for you, they are still hurting about the fact that this relationship dynamic has come crashing down for them. But for this particular person, it feels like they also, they have love, right? They have love. They're open to the familiar. They're open to, there's something about this connection with you, Cancer, that feels familiar and they like it. Maybe you've been knowing each other for a while, probably grew up together, maybe have been in each other's lives, escaped each other, got back together, maybe some twin flame energy. That energy is there, but there's something that is coming up really strong, possibly about with this person not accepting some type of closure from maybe a past situation, because we have the King of Wands here, which is, you know, a mutable sign for me. So this is Sagittarius energy, but it's also being able to make a decision, a firm decision that's confident. And then this is another 10 energy, which is closing energy. And then we have a death, you know, something must end for something to begin. So it feels like there was some block with this person where they weren't able to take their learning experiences, transmute them into honor how they needed to honor this particular commitment that you were just in. It could have been some third party stuff. It could have been some other person from the past, but it just feels like they possibly had another chance with you at some level and did not do their part to fully honor their word, with the manifestation card being in reverse. Maybe they said, and I think this part of your initial placement reading, I think this is for this person, I'm going to do better. I'm going to make sure that this commitment serves us. I'm going to blank, 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 but still not completely closing down and ending what they needed to do on their part so that this commitment and this relationship could thrive. The overarching theme between you and this other person, it feels like there has been a block related to getting very clear about what it is that you want, if you all could have that with each other, and taking the steps to honor that. It's not all on you, right, Cancer? I don't want you to feel like that. That's not what I'm wanting to say here. But I do believe deeply, again, I'm not an expert on anything, but I do believe when it comes to love, because love is supposed to help us grow. You know, love is a growing fruit of the spirit, if you will, okay? So if someone is coming into our lives to help us unfold our spirit and to help us grow, then we'd have to be very clear about that commitment and allow that process to unfold. And so in that, we are only going to be able to attract back to us in our love life what we think about ourselves and what we are able to put out. So it seems like there's confusion on both ends, and it's just because maybe in some way the connection was founded on a little bit of distrust, or there was some breaking point that happened in the connection, and now it's been really, really hard after that to regain balance, to reheal, and to really start fresh and new with each other. But it does feel like for someone here, they're feeling, this person feels like that it's going to be absolute closure, that this connection is completely done, right? And then for some of you, I'm speaking to, you're single, and this is just something that's going to be helpful for you moving on in your life, moving forward. I'm going to get some final archangel messages out here for you, Cancer. And then I will close this reading, okay? Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. What do you want Cancer to know as they're working through this energy? Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Oh, okay. All right. Energy healing work is the first one out here for you, Cancer. And the prayer says, thank you for sending healing energy to me through me, for my own blessings and for all those around me. Thank you for connecting me to loving and high integrity healers and teachers of energy healing modalities. So this is all about you being plugged in to what it is that you need so that you can feel whole and strong. I did not mention this, but beneath the deck that I use to understand the connection between you and this person is the Star card, okay, which is all about healing. So there's a need to address some possible wounds deep down, maybe from the past in this connection, so that you can have the chance to truly trust yourself and love and have what it is that you want, because you can have it. The next card out here says, pay attention to your dreams. Dream space is important right now. The prayer is, thank you for tucking me into bed tonight and helping me enjoy a wonderfully restful night's sleep. Archangel Michael, I invite you into my dreams as my teacher, guide, and healer. Please allow me to understand this, and then it has a blank. You fill in that blank there, on a spiritual level, and give me guidance. Very powerful. Then the final one here is, your children are watched over by angels. I'm going to read that again. Your children are watched over by angels. There's nothing happening right now that is going to disrupt the life, the joy, and the legacy of those beautiful babies, whoever I'm speaking to right now. The prayer is, dear guardian angels of my children, born and unborn, thank you for watching over my children and ensuring their happiness and safety. This is such a beautiful card. Please guide me so that I know the best ways to be a good parent and role model for my own and other people's children. Oh, that's beautiful. My lovely Cancer, you are the nurturer of the zodiac. I hope that that is something that feels loving to you when I say that. We need you, Cancer, okay? You offer something to the world that no one else can offer, and it's the ability to discern, to guide, to help build community. You have that thing about you. You're an understanding being, you're an empathetic being, and the world could not exist without you. And I'm very clear about what I'm saying. So I love you, and I'll see you next week in another 4 Paths Healing Tarot message. Take care. Bye.